So in this video, I'd like to share with you the simple process that made me over $1,200 per day as a 22-year-old, and I did it all online, remotely, with literally no degrees and no certifications. Now, when we get to 30,000 subs on YouTube, I'll give away $2,000. All you have to do to win the money is to watch the video until the end, subscribe, and share it with a friend. And I also have a gift for you. In the description of this video, you will find a free training where I share with you in detail the 4-step process I used to make that much money. And right now, a few spots have opened up for the free consultation call with me, where together, we come up with a game plan for you to get to 5K per month, even more than that, in 90 days. The link is in the bio. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is that you need to forget about those business models. So as you can see right there, I've got Shopify with Facebook ads, I've got affiliate marketing, freelancing on websites like Fiverr or even Upwork, trying to invest in the stock market, TikTok shop, or even Amazon FBA. And the reason why I'm telling you to forget about those business models, it's because these are time and money sucks. I'm not even joking. So for example, I tried dropshipping when I was in high school. With one of my friends, we were broke high school students, but because he was working a part-time job and I had some savings, we decided to start a dropshipping business. And so we found a winning product, a flat squeeze mop, and we built a Shopify store. We launched some Facebook ads, and the crazy thing that happened is that only 30 minutes after launching the ad campaign, we got our first sale. So I will never forget this moment in my entire life. But then what happened next? Obviously, if we kept making money like that, it would have been too good to be true. Instead, Facebook ads ate up all of our budget, and later on we tried to start other stores. We even tried dropshipping with organic marketing. We made a few sales here and there, but profits were too small for it to be worthwhile. Then there's affiliate marketing. I mean, the other day, I was talking with somebody who was doing affiliate marketing because he was convinced it was the best business model. But then I asked the guy, well, how much money do you make per sale? And the answer might shock you. He told me he made $4 per sale. Come on, like, do you imagine how many sales you need if you even want to make 4K a day or even 400 a day in general? Because remember, if you make 400 a day in profit, it's like 5 to 20% of that you actually keep. So it's literally way less than that. Now, what about freelancing on Fiverr? That can work good for some people. And the reason why I say for some people, it's because on these platforms, it's kind of like social media. The algorithm, it's literally designed to show you the best performers on the platform. Remember, they don't care that you make money. They care about making money for themselves. So they're literally showing the best talents, but if you're brand new, nobody's going to notice you most of the time. And technically speaking, we can't even call it a business because you're basically being a freelancer. And a freelancer is a self-employed person, but when you run a business, it's very different than being self-employed. People who are self-employed, and I've known many of them myself, they typically have more of a job than a job. They do everything themselves. Whereas CEOs, people who run actual businesses, they delegate. Their job is to make the right decisions to move the company forward. So it's two very different things. A lot of the time, being self-employed is not worth it. What's worth it, however, is to run your own business, because that will lead you to financial freedom. And the other thing is investing in the stock market. So recently I talked to somebody who was between 40 to 50 years old, and he had a 9-to-5 job that paid him a decent salary. But the thing is, he had been diligently investing for literally decades in the stock market, and it still wasn't enough for him to be financially free. It still wasn't enough for him to buy the house he wanted, to be able to go on vacation, even though he was following the advice of the so-called financial experts. You know, save your money, invest in your 401k, and then you invest in the stock market, etc. And then maybe one day when you're 60, 70, oh, you'll finally be able to enjoy life. And then what about things like TikTok shop? That works if you can get lots of views, but even then, your profits are small. 5 to 20%. What about fulfillment by Amazon? Well, to be able to start that business in full transparency, you need at least 10 to honestly 20K of startup capital. Why? Because unlike with dropshipping, with Amazon FBA, you need to buy the inventory all up front, and then you give it to Amazon, and then whenever somebody buys the product, Amazon ships it directly to the consumer. But remember, first, you've got the fee to buy all the inventory. And then Amazon takes a cut because you literally get sales thanks to them, because you list your products on their platform. So your profits, which would typically be very small, get even thinner. And so the reason why I wanted to explain why those businesses, you need to forget about them, it's because what I do, what makes me so much money, it's nothing like that. So let me share with you exactly what I mean. The numbers do not lie. So we're going to analyze earning $10,000 with these business models, the traditional popular online business models versus our business model, which is coaching. Now, I quickly want to issue a warning. Some people hear coaching and they think they need to be an expert to make this work. They need to be some coach with degrees and certifications. No, you absolutely don't. By coaching, what I mean is simply helping someone to achieve something. That's literally it. I'm going to give you a few examples in the next coming minutes so you understand that anybody can do it and you don't have to be an expert by any means. But first, let's see how much we actually keep in profit. So let's say we make $10,000 with both of those businesses, with coaching, and with those businesses we looked at, how much do we actually get to keep? Because one thing I really want to hammer on is that you need to focus on profit, not revenue. If you make $10,000, but you keep $500, what's the point? You can flex on socials, oh, I've made 10K. Yeah, but how much did you keep? So with those business models, first you earn $10,000, but how much do you keep? 5 to 20% in profit. So it's really not that much actually. Now, what kind of costs do you have? Shipping, softwares, returns, refunds, staff, inventory, ads, influencer marketing, etc. A nightmare to deal with. And then, if we do the math, 5 to 20% of $10,000, it's $500 to $2,000. But hey, we've got to pay taxes, right? Not everyone lives in Dubai. So we've got a 25% corporate tax on average. It can be different, of course, depending on where you live. But 25% will typically mean that after corporate tax and after expenses, we will be left with $375 to $1,500 after tax. When, remember, initially, we made 10 grand. Can you see how something is completely flawed with those businesses? E-commerce is a very profitable business if you earn a lot of money. And by a lot of money, I mean at least 8 figures. Now let's take a look at our business model and why it's infinitely better. Remember, the numbers don't lie. So we earn $10,000. We keep 95% in profit. Now I know it might sound too good to be true, but there is a very simple explanation as to why that is the case. In terms of the cost that we have, it's literally just a bit of your time and knowledge. That's it. So if we do the math, 95% of $10,000, it's $9,500. And same thing as before. If we have a 25% corporate tax, we get to keep $7,125 after tax. Now, just based on these numbers alone, regardless of whether or not you've got the skills to do it, which one would you rather have? 95% in profit, keep over 7K out of the 10K you made after tax, or keep 5 to 20% in profit and only keep about $400 to 1.5K after tax? I think the answer is pretty obvious. So do you understand now why our model is better and prints cash on demand? And so revenue is cool to flex, but profit is infinitely better. And for you to really understand that, even beyond what we covered already, I really want you to understand a fundamental concept, which is that a valuation business is not the same thing as a cash flow business. As you can see, I put a picture of the logo of Uber, and right here, I put a picture of me living my life. And so a valuation business's goal is to be worth and potentially be sold for billions of dollars, just like Uber, and it typically requires a lot of startup capital. So 9 times out of 10, to start a business like that, you need investors. You can't do it alone because it's super costly and it can take a long time before the business is actually profitable. And it only makes sense. You're trying to break through in the market by offering something unique, something that's never been seen before. Uber was completely new. Amazon was completely new. Same thing for Facebook. Same thing for Airbnb. So it requires a lot of money and of skill and of experience to be able to build one of these kinds of companies. Whereas the goal of a cash flow business is to make you 10 to 100K per month and to set you free from the modern workplace fallacy. And it also gives you startup capital if you want to start a valuation business later on without needing investors and without having to give up the ownership of your company. So you literally have your cake and you eat it too. Now let me share with you the funnel that makes me over $1,200 a day at 22. All you have to do is literally just to copy it. The first thing is the offer. So for example, some of my customers, they help people to get in shape. Some of my customers, they help others to get rid of social anxiety. Some of my customers, they help businesses to get more leads. It can literally be anything. Right now, I can guarantee if you think, oh, but I'm not an expert, I can't do coaching. Yes, you can. Because you went through life as an individual, you are unique. You are one of one. There's never been another you. There will never be another one. So you walk through life with your unique perspective. You've gone through experiences. You've experienced the challenges. You have something to teach. I can guarantee it. And I would know because so far, I spoke with hundreds of ambitious individuals who wanted to build a profitable online business. And every time when I speak to people, Even if they think they've got no skills or nothing to teach people, I often notice that actually, yes, they could teach someone something. They just don't realize it. Now, what about content? Because it's literally the next step. We utilize content to attract our ideal customers to us. Most people look at content the wrong way. They think it's just, entertainment. But if you go on any social media platform, you've got a text, so for example, a headline, and then you've got a video or a picture. What is advertising? A text and a video. It's literally the same thing. That's why we make targeted content to attract customers. Then after that, there's calls. We want to have real, genuine conversations with people to see if we could actually harm them. And if we can, we make them an offer. It's that simple. When it comes to delivery, at first, I suggest you start with one-to-one coaching. Then you can move on to group coaching. And then you can move on to solely digital products. Now, what do we sell coaching exactly? So the first reason is because we charge thousands per customer. $1,000 to $10,000 plus. Now, keep in mind some offers, they sell for $20,000, $30,000, like it's insane. And the reason why it's that expensive is because we help people to fix painful problems. If you can help somebody to overcome social anxiety, to get more leads for their business, whatever it is that you do, it is extremely valuable and it's priceless really. So charging thousands for somebody that brings a lot of value is literally just normal. The reason why a Ferrari or a Chanel bag, it's more expensive than other brands, it's for a reason. It brings more perceived value. That's literally it. Number 2, we've got high profit margins, 95%. Number 3, we avoid nightmare customers. Typically, like people who pay the least, like somebody who pays $10 and they complain about everything. I mean, they are a nightmare customer. You don't want to bother yourself with these kinds of customers. And that's also why when we charge premium rates, we often attract better customer types. People who show up on time, who put in the work, who say thank you and who are respectful. Number 4, it's literally the best model for anyone to earn cash fast without having to wait years to have a big audience. Because if you try to monetize your audience with, let's say, a small community, that can make you a lot of money, but there are 2 major flaws. First, you need a big audience, okay? And the other flaw is that you do not own the platform. Skoll owns the platform. Ideally, the best is if you own your own platform because you are in full control. Number 5, it's the business model that's made all of your favorite influencers and gurus rich. Yes, lol. And that includes me. So if you still believe you need to be doing the dropshipping, investing in the stock market, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying don't do it to get rich quick. Get rich and then invest massively. Now, I want to bust a myth quickly. A lot of people are going to think, okay, that's cool for you if you can do that. But I'm not an expert and I have nothing to teach to anyone. That's wrong. Everyone has something to teach the world. And the biggest misconception out there is that you need to be an expert to get started. You absolutely don't. I mean, if you think about it, you can only be an expert if you get started. All you need is to be just a few steps ahead of your ideal customers. That is literally it. If you were trying to learn to make money from a billionaire right now or a trillionaire, you wouldn't be able to relate to them. You couldn't even apply their advice because it's so advanced. The best person to learn from, it's literally the person who's just a few steps ahead of you. That's why coaching works so well. Now, be completely honest. If you already knew how to make $10,000 plus per month online, then you would have done it already. Which is why right now, to help you, I've recorded a free video training where I share with you the 4-step process you can start implementing today to make some serious cash online. And right now, a few spots have opened up for the free consultation call with me, where together we come up with a game plan for you to get to $5,000 plus per month in 90 days. But be quick because our spots fill up extremely quickly. The link will be in the description below. And with that said, I will see you on the other side.